Hi, Michael Krulik coming to you from the Media Composer Pod at IBC 2018. I just want to go through some new features, some hardware. Just first thing I want to point out is we just released the Avid Artist DNX ID. This little lightweight portable device. It's a new I/O that goes up to 4K for output, so HD, 2K, UHD, 4K. It also has a little SD slot, so you can put an SD card in to come in and link to your media. Thunderbolt connection, laptop, desktop, whatever you want. It's less than $1,000 US pricing. So definitely available. I believe it comes out this week. It is available. But as far as Media Composer, we just released version 2018.9 of the Media Composer software. We've added some nice features there. The first thing, if we take a look, we have a new format. Just going to go and select transcode. We'll just zoom in, and you'll see that we have a new selection for DNX uncompressed 422 32-bit float MXF. So this is for high quality projects, high quality media that you want to be able to finish inside a Media Composer. So that's available in version 2018.9. If you didn't know, just one thing I want to point out, if we go into create projects now, you can create projects up to 16K. I know, shocking. Their eyes are bugging out. They're like, 16K, are you crazy? Well, this is actually for digital signage. So we can do 16K projects. You can do 8K, 4K, UHD, or 2K. But we know that people are doing things larger format. It could be for a trade show, could be for digital displays. So you can do that work inside a Media Composer now. And you can also do custom formats. So if you need something a little odd, you can actually type in your height and width raster dimensions and have them in Media Composer as well. That's not something that's in the new version. It's an existing one, but I just wanted to point that out right here. So going back into my project, some other things I want to point out is a big feature request was live timeline. Live timeline allows you to play your sequence. Let me just turn down the audio a little bit, because we're more concerned with just what's being played. So let's say you have a producer in the room or director, and while you're playing, you want to be able to go in and you can see I can move bins around. Let's say I want to go and create a new bin, take a sequence and bring it up here. Oops. Maybe want to change the name. But one thing that we added inside of the current version of Media Composer that was just released is I can go in and solo and mute my audio tracks while the timeline is playing. Ooh, it's exciting stuff. Solo and mute, and also being able to change the clip gain. So really nice feature added. As Media Composer develops, we will be adding more features to the functionality of live timeline as well, so stay tuned. But that's been added in. Also, we've added in a feature where, let's say you've created a sequence and you need to add something, a change, but you don't want to export the entire sequence. So I can go to a file or a sequence which has been created and go to my output and select Insert, Edit, Export. So let's say a name or a title has been misspelled. You can actually use this to just reinsert that new change into that file that you've exported, which is really great. All right, so other things that we wanted to talk about is things that are up and coming. So inside of Media Composer, now this is stuff that will be available by the end of the year. One of the first things I want to talk about is working with multicam, and if you have a multicam group that you want to add a clip to. You've never been able to do this before, but we've really been working towards being able to go in, and let's just take a couple of shots here. And I'm going to create a group clip. And you'll see that the group clip is, we have Kate here talking. But all of a sudden, maybe they realize that there was another camera angle that they need to reintroduce to this group. So when this is released by the end of the year, we can take this group clip, drop it into the record window, and we get a timeline, which is our group. So at this point, we can go in and do any sort of trimming, slipping, and sliding of any of the clips inside of the group. But more importantly, I can grab another clip Let me go ahead and just take a portion of this. I can bring it into that sequence, which is my group. And then if I update my group by right-clicking here, I can create a new group clip or update the existing one. And by saying update existing, what that will do is introduce that third clip which I just added. So wow, being able to do that after the fact is great. And again, now I don't have to go in and recreate a new group or recut in. I can work with that group that's there. And if that group has been cut into the sequence, I can simply do a refresh of that sequence. Let's go back to the sequence, or a sequence. And if I select refresh sequence, which is something that's done when you do any sort of source side color correction or any source side effect change, you'll see that we have an option to refresh the sequence by any group edits as well. So again, being able to keep working without having to do extra work. Now, another feature that I want to talk about that will be out by the end of the year is shape-based color correction. Now, color correction tools have been great inside of Media Composer and with the Symphony option, with secondary color correction and more tools. But with the Symphony Color Corrector, I can go in, or will be able to go in. I'm going to go into my images, take color correction, drop it on Stuart right here. And now you'll see that I have shapes that I can actually go in and color correct using shapes. So let's go and just draw a quick shape around Stuart here. Very rough. But now with that shape, I can go in and let's say take out the saturation. So now Stuart is black and white while the background is in color. And you also see that on your output through your I/O device. We can even go in and you'll see through the effect editor all of the tools that I can go in and affect with this color correction. So we have the hue, saturation, and luminance, level controls, curves, functionality, shapes. If I want to go in and take that shape and soften the edges, you'll see here on the output, you can go in and feather that. The nice thing about these shapes as well is they can be keyframed, and when this is released, we plan on being able to track those as well using the tracker inside of Media Composer. But the nice thing is these shapes can be added to. You can add layers and different shapes. So maybe you're changing the color or tone of the sky, but also while changing the color or contrast of maybe one of the actors in front. So shape-based color correction is nice. Now that was done by dropping an effect on the clip through the effect editor, but if we go into the Symphony Color Corrector, I just want to point out that you will see those exact same shape tools inside of the color corrector, being able to change alpha, base, layers, and things like that. So really great. Now another function that was being asked to be changed for years was is the title tool. So the title tool, or the current title tool, only went up to HD, and you were required to use New Blue or another app, maybe even Photoshop, to create titles for anything higher than HD. So what we've been developing is a brand new title tool. So by selecting the clip, and we actually have the Avid titler that would come up as a button, brings up an in-app title tool. And I say it's in-app because it's not bringing up a separate program. It's actually creating the title on the video inside of my sequence, and you also get a separate little mini title effect tool right here. So if I wanted this to be, Kim, we'll come over here, we'll type Kim Roberts. I'm typing one-handed. We can take that, we can change the size. We have this little slider, so you'll see as I click on any of the parameters, I can just use the slider to change size. I can type in, I can do whatever I want. Go in and change the font style. That's not a nice one. Let's try this one right here. Make it italic. And we can even have your color control. But what's also nice that people want to be able to do is control the softness. So you'll see the drop shadow here, or even on the output. If I go to the softness for the shadow, I can simply slide that, and you'll see that the drop shadow gets softer. So being able to have that sort of control just with the little title tool here, if you want to add a shape to go behind Kim's name, just drop that down a little bit and maybe change the color. But not just that, but just by changing the position, we now have a little window to pop on the top of that. So again, quick, down and dirty. Again, I'm doing this one-handed, but besides having the control here, you'll also see all of the tools and functionality that you have in your effect editor. So with the font, with the face, with underline, edge, shadow, we'll just zoom in here, background, global effects, all of that can be done with the title tool. So perfect. Again, the multicam, the titler, the shape-based color correction, all coming into the software inside of Media Composer by the end of the year, but some really great features with 2018.9 with more tools in the live timeline, with DNX uncompressed, being able to add clips or re-edit segments into an existing sequence that you have, and also the real power of the new Avid Artist DNX ID. So it's a little wrap up, some stuff that we're highlighting here at IBC 2018. So thank you so much for joining.